It's not always easy being a Metroid fan. New games are few and far between, and it can be hard to predict which direction the series will go. The droughts are especially painful since the heights of the series are considered by many to be some of the greatest achievements in gaming. As such, a new mainline entry carries tremendous expectation, as those highs cast an intimidatingly long shadow. It's remarkable then that Metroid Dread ultimately overcomes even the shrewdest analysis. While developer Mercury Steam did great work on the remake Samus Returns, Dread is leaps and bounds beyond that game. In many ways, Dread is a masterclass in game design, keenly understanding what makes Metroid so remarkable at its best, and using that understanding to push the series forward.
Entering the atmosphere in T-10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's immediately noticeable is how good Dread looks and feels. The art direction is consistently striking and the styles vary. As expected in any Metroid game, there is a clinical industrial vibe to many of the areas, which instills a strong sense of isolation and unease. Yet without revealing too much, Dread also darts off in the exact opposite direction, unafraid to make liberal use of a wide visual palette. There are also the muted black and white EMI layers, which accentuate the cold, predatory nature of the spider-esque robots. Regardless of which area you're moving through, the game goes out of its way to make the backgrounds interesting, with various touches like creatures skittering around that go a long way to make environments feel alive and believable. The music also adds so much to the ambiance overall, taking the tension you constantly feel and somehow turning that appropriately into sound. The story, while sparse, feels tremendously purposeful. When it does decide to elaborate on what's happening, its reveals are fascinating, surprising, and exciting. If you at all care about the lore of Metroid, it's worth knowing as little as possible and experiencing the journey for yourself.
So, you've accessed a network station. Well done, Samus. I have reviewed your vital signs and video log from the data you uploaded.
The act of simply going from one area to the next is a joy thanks to how smoothly Samus controls. There is such a sense of immediacy to every individual action. Every mechanic feels satisfying on its own, but as you get better and more competently chain everything together, the toolkit really shines. You'll be performing actions like sliding into small tunnels, precisely blasting enemies on walls, and countering creatures that charge straight toward you in a blind rage. All of these things can be achieved in a split second. Dread does such an excellent job of making the player feel superhuman, but also demands that you earn your way toward that feeling. Both the EMIs and boss fights exemplify this point perfectly. EMIs control very particular sectors of a given map, and daring to travel through their territory means meat is back on the menu. The unfeeling robots can kill you with just a single touch, necessitating either careful stealth or quick and graceful movement through the area. EMIs work so well in Dread because of how thoughtfully they're integrated. They truly feel like significant roadblocks and can at times be frustrating as a result. You will get caught and you will die, but there are concessions that balance out this unforgiving nature. Dying to an EMI just resets you back to the start of their lair, which means you never lose significant progress. It's almost like Super Meat Boy in that way, where the designers are very aware that what they're asking will take numerous attempts. Upon getting caught by an EMI, you have two chances to escape their grasp by countering within an extremely short window. At first, nailing the timing feels almost impossible, but with enough time and patience, you can do it somewhat consistently, which goes hand in hand with the rest of Dread's design. Such careful implementation of these small advantages allow EMIs to actually feel like the big threat the story positions them as, while also not being so aggravating that they completely derail the game. EMIs subtly evolve over time as well, adding a slight but appreciated puzzle element, as you have to find spots where there's sufficient distance between you and the machines. The boss fights are so excellent that it would be a shame to overly describe them in this review, but much like the Emmys, they present their own satisfying mountains to climb. The bosses have quite a few mechanics that they throw at you, which makes the first attempt overwhelming. However, as you continue to pick away, you organically pick up on openings and weaknesses to the point that you get so comfortable that a boss can barely touch you. The journey to arrive at this doesn't take too long either. The game does a remarkable job of facilitating quick learning. Of course, all of this would be for naught if exploration, the hallmark of Metroid, wasn't outstanding, and it absolutely is. Although the game isn't super overt about it, the flow is designed in such a way that it gently guides you forward. It accomplishes this while still retaining a strong sense of discovery and allowing you to stumble into places seemingly ahead of schedule. You may naturally find yourself in the right place, but what to do there is still up to you to figure out. There is also an abundance of optional secrets to dive into. There's no joy quite like obtaining a new power and then opening up the map and seeing all the possibilities before you. Dread does a great job of teasing you as well, regularly showing you secrets well before you're able to get them, which makes it all the more gratifying when that time finally arrives. Plus, the puzzle nature of the secrets is very clever, leading you to learn intricacies or combine powers in ways that you hadn't thought of before, stretching the limits of your understanding. If there is one slight complaint, it's that the map conveys a lot of information all at once. At first, it's a bit of sensory overload, but it's an issue that naturally abates as you get more comfortable with the game. The map conveniently lets you mark points on it as well, so hoofing it to any particular spot is made considerably easier. For as fantastic as Dread looks and generally runs, there are infrequent but quite noticeable instances when the frame rate drops. It's also mildly annoying how long the transitions are from one area to another. While these are criticisms worth noting, they almost feel petty when compared to the staggering amount of things that the game crushes. Honestly, it's a relief that Metroid is finally getting the kind of care it so justly deserves. Metroid Dread is the very definition of a must-play title. Final score, 9.5 out of 10. Easy Allies reviews are made possible by generous viewers just like you. If you like what you see, check out patreon.com/easyallies to help us make more. For just $1 a month, you can gain access to weekly updates, spoiler discussions, and exclusive shows.